Now then, at least 1 in 5 pregnant and new mothers suffers from mental health problems like anxiety and depression, and Izzy Judd is one of them.
After facing many hurdles with her husband, McFly drama Harry, Izzy joins us today to explain why her story can help other new mums. Now, Izzy, we've spoke before, and I know that you've got 2 lovely children now, but I know that you really did struggle. It's so incredible that you're here and you want to help other mums. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so Harry and I got married, and of course the next step is we'll start a family, and it didn't happen that way, and we really struggled to have a family. And I think having experienced those difficulties through fertility issues and suffering a miscarriage, when you then go into motherhood, your focus has been so much on just getting pregnant and becoming a mum that you actually haven't given much thought to what life is going to be like, and the guilt that...
And for yourself.
And for myself,
yes.
yeah. And the guilt I felt for finding things difficult when I had wanted it for so long. I really struggled with
There's
that.
a sort of a strange sort of conflict, isn't there? Because you go through your teenage years and your early 20s doing everything you can to have a fantastic time but not get pregnant.
Yeah.
And then you suddenly get to the point where you're in a steady relationship and you want to get pregnant and you realise actually how difficult it can be.
Yeah.
And sort of being faced with the reality of that as well, Izzy, I imagine that must have been hard to come to terms with, because the two of you are both very healthy,
and
very sort of...
I remember walking into the fertility clinic feeling embarrassed at the age of 30, thinking naively that it was issues that affected older couples. But, just like the statistic you saw then about 1 in 5 women, it's 1 in 7 couples that struggle to have a family. So it's more common than we realise, but when you're going through it, you feel totally alone.
And like you say, you walking into that clinic feeling wrongly embarrassed. Do you think that's because, we're getting, we're in 2019, we're getting a lot better with across the board of being open about mental health or whatever it might be, of just talking? Do you think because you were kind of, you don't hear enough about it, of women being open and saying, do you know what, I've really had a terrible time with this?
Yeah, I felt ashamed. I felt, why wasn't I able to do what I should be able to do? That was the language I was saying to myself. And I think it's similar when you then go into motherhood. I should be able to cope with this. I should, I shouldn't be feeling like I'm failing or this is difficult.
Because when eventually you've had Lola as well, and you've got this beautiful baby that's a miracle, and she's there, does it get easier, or did that then escalate? Did the anxiety get worse?
I just was not prepared at all for the emotional side of motherhood. I think physically we are given a lot of information. A lot of focus goes on our pregnancy, how to look after the baby. There is very little focus on what the mothers need, which is, why I'm so happy to support what Tommy's are doing with their recent Your Baby's Mum campaign, because it is giving women the support that they need to start thinking about their mental health and well-being post.
So explain a little bit about that. So obviously Tommy's is a brilliant baby charity, and you are together with them launching a tool. So what exactly is that?
So it's an online digital tool. It's not an app. It's something you actually go onto the website and you follow questions. It will ask you various questions about yourself and sort of guide you through something that's suitable for you, because you may have experienced previous loss, and it's sort of a tailored plan. So if you think of it like a birthing plan, but for your mind.
Which is so important.
Yes.
I wish that I had one of those. I mean, it's not, like you say, it's that bit that you just don't... I'll be OK, and I'm a mum now because so I have to be.
Well, and also, I don't know about you, Rochelle, but for me, it was like, right, I've got all the baby grows, they're all ready, neat, all ready to go. I've got the pram. You kind of go through that checklist.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, I remember Lola just coming home and she was in the car seat. Harry and I were sat there and it was like, now what?
This is it now.
Are you hot? Are you cold?
Yeah.
What do I do with... it was just... There's just so little preparation. And actually what follows then for me was a very difficult breastfeeding journey. That had huge implications on how I was feeling mentally, because I was struggling with that. And I just didn't feel able to talk about finding it difficult.
Yeah.
How did Harry cope as well? Because he would have seen you and be desperately hoping that you're going to be sort of the mum that you want to be and you feel like you need to be, but at the same time also be very worried about the family that you've got there too.
And you're navigating. I mean, I'm sure you both know. You know, when you have children, it changes your relationship.
Oh, completely.
You know,
yes.
you're not the person you were before.
And you're not each other's priority.
Exactly. Everything changes. And so you're trying to figure your way through that as well. And suddenly all your focus is on this baby. And, you know, I'm very lucky. Harry and I very much work as a team. But we have had to work at how we communicate with each other, which, you know, when you're right in the middle of a kind of toddler tantrum, might not be the best time to discuss plans for tomorrow.
Is Harry still having those tantrums?
I know,
I've told him about
I can't stop them.
And what about Kit then? Because Kit's one now, and Kit is a miracle, because Kit's come along naturally. Probably off the back of you guys being more stable as a family. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's interesting.
You often hear about this happening, don't you? It is interesting.
You do. And I was writing my book at the time about our fertility struggles. And, you know, Lola was not even 1 when I discovered I was pregnant with Kit. And I remember thinking, how am I going to say... I didn't want to be that person that was suddenly, I had IVF, now I've fallen pregnant naturally. These stories that you hear when you're struggling.
The happy ending.
Yeah. But he is actually a miracle. Like, even now, when I think about it, I still don't quite understand how that happened. And it's the mystery of conception, really. You know, the mystery of where...
Of life.
Yeah, of life, exactly.
And how they're both doing as well, because all those pictures, all I ever see of you guys, and Harry puts some stuff on Instagram, is the chaos and the madness and the fun that you're all having.
Well, having gone through, you know, sort of having to start to learn about how to look after my anxiety, I have found mindfulness incredibly helpful when it comes to...
coping with them.
Coping with my children and giving them the tools to hopefully cope with anything that they might come up against. And children, they're such sponges.
Absolutely.
They just absorb everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Very,
Lovely to see you, Izzy.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure this tool's going to be amazing.